Thank you for being with us this afternoon. I'd like everyone to please rise for the national anthem that will be sang by Miss Karen Jenkins.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Urbana Adult Education class graduation of 2015. We are pleased that you are all here to celebrate and honor these graduates today as they receive their high school diplomas. They are an amazing group of people who have demonstrated great scholarship and character, which has led them to this ceremony today. We had over 41 graduates this past year, and we just want to recognize everyone that's here today. I'd like to start out by introducing some very important people. Miss Peggy Patton, if you're in the room, please stand. Miss Benita Rollins-Gay, and Miss Brenda Carter. If you remain standing, I'd like to give these ladies a round of applause. These are our school board members. I would also like to recognize Dr. Don Owen, Superintendent of Urbana School District. Mr. Matthew Stark, Principal of Urbana High School. Mr. Jamil Steele, our keynote speaker for this afternoon. And Mr. Toei Owens, a 2014 UAE graduate and our alumni speaker. Ms. Arlene Anderson, Director of Student Services. Mr. Marcellus Gray and Ms. Peggy Buck, our APL instructors. Ms. Sherry Langendorf, our inclusion specialist. Secondly, we've invited staff and board members from other districts because some of these students may have started out in other schools throughout the area. Additionally, there are a number of other guests whom we work closely with in the community and often find ourselves serving some of the same population. To all those community partners, would you please stand? That's everyone. I would be remiss if I did not thank the Urbana Adult Education staff for their endless hard work in helping students succeed. I am very fortunate to work with these people who realize the niche they feel in our community and providing the type of safety net for people who have left high school without graduating. They work hard every day for our students, for our community, to make our where we live a better place. And they have worked hard in helping put tonight's program together. Please, adult education staff, if you're in the theater, could you please stand? Now, I know there are many of you out in the audience who are here that are supporting one or more of the graduates. Our students are aware that they have a multitude of challenges in their lives, which sometimes create obstacles that make it hard to meet their goals, particularly attending school and graduating. But these students have indeed achieved a milestone this year by earning their high school diploma. So everyone in the audience who has someone that they're recognizing on stage who you've supported to get to this point, please stand so we can recognize you. And last but not least, on stage, we are most happy about our graduating students who have taken the monumental step of coming back to school to finish their high school diploma. People say that the first step back in the door is the hardest one, and I congratulate you on taking that step and completing your high school diploma requirements. Before I introduce our student speaker, I would like to invite the principal of Urbana High School, Matt Stark, to say a few comments.
Well, before I say any comments, I think we also need to give it up for Sam Byndom, who's our director. Graduates, congratulations and thank you. Continue to be an inspiration to those around you. Continue to pay it forward and helping inspire other young people to be where you are, to get to this point in your careers. I wish you the best of luck as you move forward in your activities and your plans for what's next. Again, thank you so much.
I would like next to introduce to the podium Dr. Don Owen, our school superintendent.
Thank you very much, Mr. Byndom. It is truly an honor and a privilege for me to be here today. I'm going to keep my remarks very short, but I do have 3 congratulations that I have to make on behalf of the school district and the Board of Education. First and foremost, I want to congratulate the staff and teachers at Urbana Adult Education. The support that you provide to the people on this stage is invaluable. Your effort and dedication as educators, as supporters, as counselors, as friends means the world to these students. I need to give a special shout out to 2 people who I have known for a very long time who are also having a commencement of sorts today. 2 of our adult education staff are retiring at the end of this year, and they are Sherry Langendorf and Jacqueline Williams. And so I just need to take a moment to recognize them because they have truly made the Urbana Adult Education program an institution over the years and have made it what it is today. So I can't say enough about how much I personally am going to miss you both and how much you've meant to the school district, to adult education, and to this community. Second, I want to thank you, the family members and friends that are here today. As Mr. Byndom said, you provided support that at times may have been challenging to provide, at times may have been frustrating, but in the end, it is rewarding because the people that you're supporting are hitting a milestone today. And this is just one milestone. It doesn't mean that you get to stop supporting them. It doesn't mean that you're going to have no more challenges or no more frustrations. But it means that the teamwork that you've provided with your students, your graduates today, has paid off. I ask you to continue that support and continue helping these people move forward with their lives. Because without you, my guess is they wouldn't even set foot inside the door, some of them. And some of them probably found you after they set foot inside this door of adult education. They're going to need your help as they step outside the doors of adult education. So again, congratulations to you for the day that you have today. Finally, students, congratulations to you. This is a huge day, and I hope that you realize how important it is. Taking a step to further your own education is not just for you personally, but for your children, for your siblings, for your parents, for your friends, and for your teachers. As a teacher, I can say this. Every time I have a student walk across a stage, it makes my heart grow. It brings me a huge amount of pride. I have a couple of you that were my former students when I taught 8th grade U.S. history at Urbana Middle School. And to have you walk across the stage today means the world to me. So thank you, congratulations, and keep moving forward. Don't let this be your ending point. Let this be your starting point.
Thank you for those inspiring words, Dr. Owen. Our first guest speaker this afternoon is Miss Amanda Good. Would you please come to the mic?
Hello, everyone. I want to say congratulations to every one of us who have worked so hard all year to get our diplomas. When Mr. Gray asked me to stand up here today to give this speech, I was nervous because I have a fear of talking in front of a large crowd. I decided to go ahead and do a speech. We all have to face our fears at some points in our lives. We all face our fears by going back to school and getting our diplomas. Some of us thought we were too old. Will we have the time to do this? Can I really succeed at getting my diploma? Here's your answer. Yes, you can, because we are all here getting ready to walk across this stage and be handed our diplomas. I remember when we all started Mr. Gray's night class. He went around the room and asked us to say our names and why we were getting our diplomas. Some said to go to college and to get a career. One person's answer stuck in my head. Betty Hutton said she wanted to graduate before her teenage daughter. Betty, I agree with you, because I have a teenage daughter that will be graduating in 2017. We don't want our kids to show us up. On behalf of all of us graduating, I would like to thank the families and friends who have supported us through this major step in our lives. I would like to thank the special people in my life, my fiance Thomas Navalt, my friends Sue Pack, Mildred Navalt, and Jennifer Martin. Also my 4 children, Jerica Good, Catherine Good, Brianna Navalt, and Nathaniel Navalt. Thank you for pushing me and not letting me give up. Also for cheering me on and letting me know I can do this. I would like to thank the Urbana School District 116 for having a program for all of us to be able to get an education. Without you, we wouldn't be here today. Thank you to the Urbana Adult Education and all the staff for taking the time out to help each and every one of us reach our goals for our diploma. My children are the biggest reason why I went back to school. I can't tell them to get an education when I didn't do so myself. When I told my daughters, Catherine and Brianna, I was done with school and getting my high school diploma, they laughed at me and said it was weird that their mom was graduating high school at my age. Well, girls, no matter how old you are, you're never too old to get an education. In conclusion, I would like to leave you this quote by George Washington Carver. How far you go in life depends on your being tender with the young, compassionate with the aged, sympathetic with the striving, and tolerant of the weak. Because someday in life, you will have been all of these. Thank you.
I would like to introduce our next student speaker, Ms. Zyiha Petty.
Okay. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. And my name is Zyiha Petty, and I'll be one of your student speakers today. This speech that I have wrote is just about a couple of things that I've been through to get here and me graduating. So as you may know, we are graduating today. Well, this has been a journey, but not just any journey. This journey has given us a chance at a new beginning that some of us was discouraged about. But for me, this journey I'll never forget. A couple years ago, I was being a teenager with an attitude, and I was just angry with life, so I decided to drop out of school. My mom begged and asked me to go back, but instead of listening, I pushed her away, and I became deeper into the bad choices I was making. So one day, my friends was talking about how they can't wait to graduate. I was sitting there thinking, wow, I'm not graduating. So I went home and said a prayer. As my Uncle Michael say a prayer and God will listen. I asked God to show me the way because that day I decided I would not be another statistic. God answered my prayers a couple days later when my Uncle Damon called telling me about adult ed. I took the chance, and I can absolutely say this is the best decision I made in a long time because now look at me. This school is such a blessing, not because we're graduating, because it helps you become a better person. The staff doesn't want you just to graduate. They want to help you in the further life with job, college, and many more things. The teachers and staff make you feel like you have a purpose to keep pushing. I want to thank my Uncle Damon for bringing me out here, helping me with this opportunity, and pushing me to keep going when I wanted to give up. And I want to give a special thanks to my teacher, Mr. Gray, for always snitching on me. For always snitching on me. He would tell my uncle when I'm not on my A game. My uncle would be like, I got eyes everywhere, but yeah, I knew it was Mr. Gray. It will push me more and more to succeed at what I was trying to accomplish. Look at me now, I'm standing here as a graduate. Mr. Gray really helped push me to this finish line. I want to give a big thanks to my mother, my grandma, my brother, and my whole entire family for always telling me I could do it. I'll never forget my granny telling me, Zyiha, you are somebody, and I realized I am somebody. I'm here to make a better Zyiha for me and my family. My mama said I can do it, not just because I'm her daughter, but because she know I want something better in life. All the wisdom and advice my family has given me, I took it and ran with it. And I can say that I want a better life. I'm going to be better. I'm going to do better. I am better. My biggest cheerleaders... My biggest cheerleaders are my family, and without them, there's no Zyiha. I just want to say I have made it, and I will not become another statistic.
All right, our final student speaker is Mr. Torrey Owens, who was a 2014 graduate. Since that time, he's joined the Army National Guard, and here he is this afternoon to tell you about his experience this past year. Torrey, come on up.
Hello and good afternoon, distinguished guests, faculties, and honorees. I would like to thank you for inviting me to speak here today, and I'm pleased to be here celebrating this delightful occasion. First, I would like to talk to you about my experience with Urbana Adult Education. Ever since I started school years ago, I've always struggled with my education. I made horrible grades, and I would just pass year to year because I never took schooling seriously, and I didn't understand the value of education. I didn't think I would need it. My outlook was I would just drop out and join the Army like my grandfather did. So when I was 16, I did just that. But I failed to realize at the time that the Army didn't want anyone who hadn't graduated high school. So I decided to get a job I'll worry about my education later. But, shocker to me, no one wanted to hire a high school dropout either. So around that time, I finally got it through my head that I needed education. I went back to Urbana High School and talked to my counselor, but he told me I had to maintain a B average. So, since that probably wasn't going to happen, I turned him down and went back to doing nothing. Then I heard about Urbana Adult Education, so I decided to look into it. Admittedly, I still dragged my feet a little, and I still didn't comprehend the opportunity that was in front of me. But with the constant and tireless effort from the dedicated teachers and staff at Urbana Adult Education, I finally graduated in the class of 2014. After that, I was on my way to Fort Sill, Oklahoma for basic training. There are many stories I could tell you about that, but I'd like to focus on my medical training I've received in Fort Sam Houston, Texas. There, I became an EMT and a combat medic. I finally realized, with this knowledge I obtained in the long months of Texas, that I really appreciated the power of education. With this, I could help people and save lives. With education, I could perform an emergency cricothyrotomy to quickly open a patient's airway, buying them the critical time they needed to get to the next level of care. Or with the skills I learned at Urbana Adult Education, I could do my taxes. It is education that will be the foundation of your life. And with that, I will leave you with one last thing. Education is the building blocks of life. It is the key to the world. Whatever you want to do in life, whether it's a business entrepreneur, an athlete, or a medical professional like myself, it all starts right here with this diploma that you earned. It is truly the beginning of whatever you want to be. Thank you for asking me to speak here today. It is truly an honor. Good luck, graduates, on whatever you plan to make your life to be.
Let's give all our student speakers another round of applause. Now I'd like to introduce our keynote speaker for this afternoon. Jamil Steele is the Senior Director of Adult Education and Family Literacy at the Illinois Community College Board. Jamil holds a master's degree in curriculum and instruction, technology, and has worked in the field of adult education for over 15 years in the capacity of an instructor, program director, and state administrator. Jamil currently works as a part of a team that develops programs that aids adults to improve their basic academic skills to levels of college and career readiness to earn a living wage and better their lives. Please welcome our keynote, Mr. Jamil Steele.
Thank you very much. Can everyone hear me? Okay, I won't be here before you long, but on behalf of the Illinois Community College Board, I would like to thank each and every one of you for coming here and to support our program, and more important than that, support our program graduates. I want to take the opportunity to give thanks to Sam Byndom, the director, as well as his staff and everyone that plays a role here to ensure that this program had the results that they set out to do. I am thankful for the most part of being able to play a critical role in the field of adult education. I won't be before you long because really, honestly, between the opening statement of the ceremony and the student speakers, they delivered messages that contribute to the big picture. Ask yourself, what is the big picture? The big picture focuses on education. Education is actually the currency of the 21st century. By the year 2018, 60% of the jobs that makes a living wage and worthwhile having will require some sort of post-secondary training or education. So graduates, I would like to say to you, don't look at this as an ending, but look at this as a beginning. I know you came here to get your GED. Some of you came to maybe say, well, I want to get my GED as a milestone or to add closure to my life. But I also want to introduce to you a new way of thinking that your instructors have already presented to you. One, you're at the doorway of a career pathway. Whether you decide to go to community college, to get a certification in a particular field like welding, healthcare, auto mechanics, or whether you decide I'm going to go beyond that and get a degree at a university. The world is yours and the opportunity is yours. All you have to do is take advantage of it. There was 4 things that happened to you in the classroom that you may or may have not recognized. Many of you took math courses. How many of you enjoyed the math? Come on. I know I was there too. How about the English language, the social studies, the science? Well, I got good news for you. By achieving your GED, you have now acquired what the educational field states is college and career readiness or career pathway readiness. You are now ready for college or a career. It's up to you. In your classroom, you have obtained what I call the 4 C's. Now, this is the stuff that happened in the classroom that you didn't realize it was happening while you were learning the math, the reading, the social studies, and the science. The 4 C's. The first of the 4 C's is creativity. You have now enhanced your creative skills. Many of you found math to be challenging, didn't you? But you also found a creative strategy to work around barriers in your life. Math can be a barrier. Some of us, reading may be a barrier. Science may be a barrier. But now you have the power to critically think, to problem solve. Or as in the country, and I'm not from the country, they have a saying out there, there's more than one way to skin a cat. I don't know why would somebody want to skin a cat, but they say that. It's in the country, I don't know. But nevertheless, nothing should stop you now. You have the power to work around things that are going to come against you to stop you. The second C, the first one was creativity. The second one is critical thinking. You now have the power within you to problem solve. Getting a GED is not easy. These brave individuals, which I call game changers, they have accomplished in a season what it takes most people 4 years to accomplish. I think you ought to be commended for that. So now, if someone comes to you and calls you a problem or try to demean you or undergrade you, you can say, no, I'm not a problem. I am a problem solver. You have the ability to go out into your community now and make the difference. I am not from Champaign, Urbana. I'm originally from Chicago, Illinois. I spent some time down in southern Illinois. I worked in the state of Kentucky, the state of Missouri. That being said, this is my first time seeing many of you. But do you know what I saw when I walked into this auditorium? I saw community, and I still see community. I see all of you coming to support these graduates, which are a part of your community. These graduates now are an asset to you because they are problem solvers. You have a number of problems in your community. These are going to be the individuals that are going to address some of those problems. The employers said that the number one skill they want their employees to have now is to be able to problem solve. What happens when the machine breaks down? What happens when the computer breaks down? What happens when there's a miscommunication that occurs? Which takes me to the third C, communication. You have had the opportunity to develop the communication skills. You have found your voice. I don't know about you, but through high school I had a rough time and I had a problem finding my voice. I thought that I was going to find my voice in rap. Don't judge me. Don't think I know I don't look like it now. But back in the days when there was Public Enemy, NWA, Tribe Called Quest, I thought I was going to be one of them. So I spent more time in the record store, see, they don't even have records anymore, buying records than actually paying attention to my materials or my books in class. So that being said, I had a late start, but somebody gave me a second chance. And the second chance started with a communication. The moment you walked into your adult ed center and you said, I need help and I want more, you begin to communicate and develop your voice. The moment you sat and you try to solve those geometry problems and algebra problems, and you say, hey, this is beyond me, I'm having problems, I need help, you just started to develop your voice. That's the power of communication. The last C, so I went to 3, creativity, critical thinking, communication. The last one is collaboration. You now have skills to collaborate with others to reach goals. Anytime you want to try to better yourself, accomplish a great feat, you're going to always meet a challenge. The best way to overcome a challenge is through collaboration. There's an African proverb that many have heard and we've been quoting for years. It takes a village to raise up a child. In other words, it takes teamwork. Collaboration is your ability to work as a team. There were times that you may not have got it. I don't know why I keep going back to math, but a lot of you shook your heads doing the math part. But how many of you asked for help or worked with somebody or there was a student in your cohort who helped you? Now, as you begin to go on to a post-secondary education opportunity or a career, when you have challenges or the job seems too hard or there's barriers, reach out to your team and collaborate. Get each other's numbers. Facebook one another. Twitter one another. Contact your adult ed staff. Say, hey, I'm trying to get into this college, but I'm having some difficulties with this. They will be glad to help you. Last but not least, contact me. Just Google my name. It'll come up. I will be glad to help you because somebody gave me a second chance. Everybody deserves a second chance. I thought I failed out of school. I thought I missed the mark, but someone gave me the second chance, and that second chance permitted me to go to community college. I went to community college for 2 years, and I went from working at Wendy's, making $4.45 an hour, to making what they considered at that time to be a living wage. A living wage is a wage that you can earn that you can take care at least of a family of 4 without struggle. From there, I was afforded the opportunity to transfer to a 4-year university because I'm sorry, but once I started making a little money, it got good, and I wanted a little bit more. So that's what you call a career pathway. At that particular time, I discovered there was a difference between having a job and having a career. A job is something you can do to pay your light bills or your gas bill. It's the thing you do to make it from week to week. You get money or a paycheck. But a career is a lifestyle. That's the thing you dedicate yourself to. And you work 24 hours a day, 7 days a week to accomplish that. Your career dictates your lifestyles. I found my career in the field of education. The reason why I'm so passionate about adult education, I saw within myself and with others that it does make the difference. It can take you from making a living wage to a minimum wage, from making a minimum wage to a living wage to exceeding a living wage. What happens when you do that? You're able to impact your community. Here at the Illinois Community College Board, what we do, a lot of people don't know what that is. We actually advocate for federal and state dollars to keep programs like this going on. We're going to continue to stay on the battlefield, and we're going to continue to fight, and we're going to ask you as a community to stand and fight with us. One way you can fight is by continue on beyond this day celebrating with these graduates. After you celebrate and you kick it tonight and you have a good time, you kick your shoes off, tomorrow sit down with them and say, okay, well, what's the next step in the plan? Where are we going to go from here? Because I want to remind you that the sky is the limit. So in order to honor my wife, I'm going to cut off my comments. Because she said you're long-winded, you don't use your notes, which I didn't, and you end up going on and on and on. And people want to get, well, look. So let's give our graduates one more round. Thank you very much.
I would like to introduce our entertainment for this afternoon. Poet Amy Ali is our featured entertainer for this afternoon. Amy has participated in hundreds of open mic presentations. Not only is she a poet, but is also the founder of Exposed, the community arts organization. Please join me in welcoming her to our stage, Amy Ali.
Thank you. Thank you. First of all, I want to say congratulations to all of you one more time. Thank you. And thank you to the Urbana Adult Ed staff for inviting me here. I really appreciate the opportunity. I'm going to do a poem. It's called Visualize. Visualize. Visual. Eyes. Eyes that carry thoughts of wisdom solid as gold, moral treasures sought from high and low, diamonds in the rough too beautiful to hold. Eyes that know no doors or walls, that see into every crack, crevice and hole, into the soul of every word ever written. Eyes that transcend from the heavens, travel into imaginable, whimsical, distant lands, magical, powerful places of I cans. Eyes that watch as metaphorical and philosophical adolescents play, reads them literature that will expand their minds from yesterday past today, a present for the future from yesterday's teacher, transcript of scripture for tomorrow's preacher. Eyes that stare into the blank canvas of beliefs, describes to the world the portrait that it sees, with words of tears stripped from fingertips, sentences of fears slip from grips, and punctuation of hopes that sits on the tips of lips. Eyes that stroke over black, whites, and sometimes grays, paints them into bright, vivid colors and shades. Eyes that take the once was, molds it with the what is, and sculpts it into the what it is to become. Eyes that capture memories running wild and free, tames them and displays them for all to see. Eyes that build buildings to scrape the boundless sky, gathers them around a runted clock that ticks rhyme and talks about time. Eyes that stare into the beauty of a single rose, analyze everything that it knows by the simple way that it grows. Eyes that follow the evolution of theoretical and hypothetical atoms as they expand into the truth of a giant. Eyes that pick up letters, numbers, and symbols and pieces them together to form the puzzle of science. Eyes that from the silence summon symphonies, unites in unison, time signatures with harmonies, notes with melodies, all for the greater good of humanity. Diverse warriors that know no retreat, battle side by side in honor of freedom and world peace, sing hymns of fallen infantry and dance together in victory. Eyes that stand mesmerized in front of the masterpiece of life, as new discoveries appear with every moment that passes us by. Visualize. Visual eyes. Thank you.
Wow. That was amazing. Thank you very much, Miss Ali. Graduates, would you please rise? Dr. Owen, would you please come forward and accept the graduating class of 2015?
Again, on behalf of the Urbana School Board, the Urbana Adult Education staff, and Urbana School District 116, I am honored and privileged to accept the 2015 graduating class of Urbana Adult Education.
Good afternoon. Our 2015 high school diploma graduates are as follows. Wilson Dads Anderson. Alan Beard Baines. Amizio Baculi Bishop. Shelley Diana Derflinger. Chanel Lorraine Fleming. Alexis Ray Franzen. Amanda Adele Good. Zachariah Corlius Hampton. Elizabeth Ann Holloman. Bonnie Siobhan Howard. Betty Marie Hutton. Dominique Devon Jones. Kiana Maylee Killian. Madison Ray Lynch. Danielle Keshana McClendon. Tashana Shanae McKinney. Manuela Mayret Perez. Zyiha Simone Tamay Petty. Floretha Rochelle Pierce. Danielle Catherine Pilgrim. Andrea Marie Purcell. Sharonda Anise Ray. Monica Lavon Robinson. Ashley Dawn Saucedo. Rachel Elizabeth Simmons. Zoditu Keno Tessima. April Aaron Wasson. Casey Andrea Yetz. Nakia Janelle Young. Mr. Gray.
Well, congratulations, graduates of 2015. Absolutely. We are so very proud of you. We know how hard you have worked. Let not this be a resting point in terms of your educational goals. Continue on to post-secondary options. Continue on to career choices, good career choices. You all have a talent and a gift, and that's why you are here today, being recognized for that very thing, okay? And I would like to share a quote with you by George Eliot. It's never too late to be who you might have become. Congratulations.
In the firm belief we can't say congratulations too many times. Congratulations. We are proud of you. I personally can say that it has been an honor and a privilege to work with each of you, and just keep going forward. Keep doing the good stuff.
Class of 2015, please rise. It is now time to switch those tassels. You are graduates.
May I be the first to congratulate all of you who are now graduates of the class of 2015 and alumni of Urbana Adult Education and Urbana High School. Congratulations to you and your families. I would ask that you be seated for a moment, please. As Dr. Owen wanted to recognize two of our extraordinary teachers this afternoon, both that combined have been with us nearly 50 years. Committed to service, dedication, but also there's one other staff member who has put in 34 years of service to Urbana Adult Education. They have been the backbone of our school, advocates, nurturers, champions of each student that comes through our doors, acknowledging that every student can achieve their full potential with respect, kindness, and support. These educators' expectations have the greatest impact on student success. We see the results of that today. Your years of commitment and dedication to students and making UAE a better place, an inclusive learning environment, will not be forgotten and will be sorely missed. As you embark on your new journey and exciting possibilities, it has been both my pleasure and privilege to work alongside all three of you, the most amazing people that I have worked with. Ms. Sherry Langendorf, Ms. Jacqueline Williams, and Mr. David Gordon. Please come to the stage. Thank you for your exemplary service. Now, what's interesting, for those of you that don't know me, I'm not much of a hugger, right? But I definitely want to acknowledge all three of them today, and I picked up some hugs just in case. right? As a little joke. Is Miss Williams in the house? Okay. Come on up, Miss Williams. I ask that you remain seated until all the guests, all the graduates have left, and please join us in the Commons cafeteria so you can celebrate with our new graduates. The ushers will lead the way. Graduates, please rise. Please rise.